Crews were having a hard time accessing the fire because of the double ceiling and the double roof. By cutting that hole, we're able to slow fire travel, and also we get all that heat and smoke out of the structure. Crews were having a hard time accessing the fire because of the double ceiling and the double roof. By cutting that hole,
Three, two, one. Because it's all but certain that this presidential race will be a rematch of 4 years ago, there's just not a lot of voter excitement for this primary. Still, what happens at precincts all across Georgia today could give us some insight into how deep the loyalty runs for the top candidates in each party. For example, it'll be interesting to see whether the Republican voters in suburbs are enthusiastic about former President Donald Trump enough to show up today. And President Joe Biden's team will be watching to see what kind of enthusiasm there is among Democrats for him in his re-election bid. We checked in with elections officials in the various metro Atlanta counties. They want voters to remember you must go to your assigned precinct today. This is not like early voting where you can go to any available location. And don't forget to bring your government-issued photo ID. Now, they're not expecting crowds or lines today, but they're using this as a test run for what could be a wild November election, with Georgia being a battleground state.
This is an important year for the country, for Georgia, for Cobb County, and they want to get all their voter credit for all 5 elections.
This is our time to basically test out how we're going to conduct the elections going through the rest of the year.
After today, both Trump and Biden could very well have all the delegates they need to win their party's nomination. The polls are open and they close at 7 o'clock tonight. In Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
And also want to let you know that in Mableton, the mayor is actually going to address public safety this afternoon. This is going to happen in a closed-door meeting later on today. And remember, this comes after a 15-year-old was critically hurt in a shooting outside of Six Flags over Georgia earlier this month. It was actually a shootout with police. Atlanta News First Asia Wilson has a preview of what to expect.
Mayor Michael Owens says the city, county, and business leaders will take a close look at what happened recently here at Six Flags over Georgia and off property. He says they will gather to address concerns and come up with strategies to ensure everyone is safe in this area. Earlier this month, Cobb County Police stated an unruly crowd of about 500 to 600 people began fighting inside Six Flags over Georgia during its opening day. Police say after that, they followed the crowd outside of the gates. That's when an unknown group started shooting at police, and an officer returned fire, hitting a 15-year-old boy. He now faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault on a police officer. The mayor of Mableton says today prominent figures in public safety will discuss current safety protocols and procedures and explore innovative approaches to enhance security in and around the park.
If we can look at things that are tried and true from a police perspective or law enforcement perspective, whether that is elements containing crowd control, looking at who's coming and where they're coming from as far as patrons, and then what's happening when they come in, and also important when they leave the park. To ensure there's order.
Now, this meeting is happening on top of Six Flags over Georgia officials saying they do everything they can to make sure that people are protected both inside and outside of the park. And this meeting will take place today at Riverside epicenter at 1:30, and a press conference will follow at 3. In Cobb County, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
All right, also want to let you know that happening tomorrow, the YSL trial is going to resume once again. Of course, we've been streaming it gavel to gavel here on Atlanta News First Plus. So obviously it's been a long break, but testimony is going to pick back up again in this RICO trial tomorrow. And once again, we're going to stream that. Just, you know, if you're not familiar, Atlanta rapper Young Thug, aka, well, actually I should say that is his, that is not his real name. His real name is Jeffrey Williams, but he's accused of co-founding a criminal street gang. Defense attorney saying that YSL stands for a record label, actually. So far, prosecutors have had a difficult time getting witnesses to recount crimes with potential ties to YSL. Some of the crimes date back more than a decade, but that is really one of the important points of this case. While this break was underway, there were several motions that were heard before the judge, but we're going to continue with the testimony tomorrow, and we're going to broadcast that for you right here on Atlanta News First and Atlanta News First Plus. All right, let's talk about the forecast now. First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris has a warning about some First Alert weather days ahead.
We do indeed, Joyce. So this week is really looking fantastic, but we do have 2 First Alert weather days that continue for Friday and for St. Patrick's Day, unfortunately. So those are the 2 days we want you to circle on your calendar. Not only rain, but storms possible each day. So we'll walk you through that here over the next couple of minutes. We'll start by letting you know what you can expect this week. So high pressure is south of us this weekend. We talk about these high pressures all the time. High pressure south of us, the wind flows clockwise around these highs. So that means our wind will be coming out of the south for the next several days. And whenever our wind is coming out of the south in March, that means warmer temperatures. So that's exactly what we'll see. Today, our highs are in the low 70s. By tomorrow, the mid 70s. And Thursday, we are at 80 degrees in Atlanta for the first time since November. So lots of sunshine and warming temperatures this week. That's good. We like that. But then on Friday, here's what happens. That heat will still be around, and it will interact with a cold front that's moving into North Georgia, at least close enough to North Georgia to where that heat plus the cold front will produce not only rain, but storms Friday afternoon and evening. So that's already in your forecast. And I've been showing this forecast model for Friday. I do want to remind you that this is pretty far out, so the timing on this could certainly change, but to just kind of give you an early look at what to expect. Friday morning at the moment looks dry with a first alert starting Friday afternoon for showers and storms. That means that's impacting you as you pick up the kids from school on Friday. Same as you drive home from work Friday evening. Showers and storms are expected. And these models are showing the rain sticking around in some form at least Friday night, going into the overnight hours into Saturday. It does look like by Saturday morning when you get out the door, if you have anything to do Saturday morning, it'll be dry. But the front that's producing this rain is not really going to move that far south of us on Saturday. It'll be close enough to where we could still see some showers pop up Saturday afternoon. So we do still have a 30% chance of rain in your forecast Saturday, mainly south of Atlanta, just because that front will be nearby. And then that system kind of backs up, and we're going to have more rain moving back in on Sunday. Unfortunately, this is St. Patrick's Day. So if you have any plans for St. Patrick's Day, know that we are forecasting you to get wet. Make sure and have some indoor plans ready to rock and roll as that rain will be back into the picture. So let's put it all together for you with the 7-day forecast today. Again, fantastic, 72 and mostly sunny. Wednesday, 75. A few more clouds out there on Wednesday. By Thursday, we're up to 80 degrees, and then those first alert weather days for Friday and Sunday, St. Patrick's Day. If you have any plans over the weekend, Saturday's definitely the better day, even though there's still a slight chance of rain on Saturday. And then again, make sure that you have some backup plans for Friday and Sunday. I will get you back to the 7-day and show you that after some warming temperatures this week, that whole system moves by completely on Sunday. And so we will cool off for the beginning of next week. Monday's looking partly cloudy with a high of 63 degrees. On Friday, when this activity moves in, rain and storms are expected. It's not impossible to see some isolated severe storms on Friday. So that's something that we're going to be tracking for you very carefully throughout the course of the week, and we'll keep you up to date in the First Alert Weather app. We'll have our latest updated forecast coming up for you on Atlanta News First at noon. We hope you guys enjoy this day. It's going to be sunny for almost the entire day. We hope you can get out there and enjoy it. We'll keep you up to date on the forecast, and until next time, we'll see you soon.